We have spent, you and I, and we're in our mid-60s, late 60s if you're me, at the movies watching Gene Hackman. It is a lifetime of movie going. What an iconic figure.
Well, he was a real Renaissance man, too. I mean, here's a guy who had all these years in the limelight and then went off to Santa Fe with his wife of 30 plus years. And he was a stock car racer. He was a photographer. He was an artist. He was the kind of person you'd really love to get to meet, I think, and get to know. Yeah. And what an end. I mean, I heard the first part of the news that he passed away. I thought, well, sure, 95
He's 95,
years old.
Exactly. But
and then they say they discovered he and his wife.
So stop there. Stop. Well, when it was him and his wife, I thought, oh my Lord, did somebody snap into a murder-suicide? And then you get to the dog. Great minds think alike, because I don't think anybody crept into the house and killed Gene Hackman and his wife and their dog. You thought what I thought, which was?
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Maybe so.
I mean, the silent killer, and it's probably, if that's what it turns out to be a cautionary tale to everybody to have one of those detectors.
We got them.
Yeah, I do too. I've got them in the condo. I mean, that you have to have that because something can go wrong. A piece of equipment can malfunction before you know it, and you have no idea because it's odorless. And so, you just go to sleep and you never wake up. So what a tragic end. I'm always so fascinated by 95-year-old people who die accidentally.
Yeah, I know. How long might he have lasted? And did you see the paparazzi pictures of him on the streets of whatever little town in New Mexico they lived in? I mean, some people are, all right, Chuck Grassley in his 90s tweeting like a teenager and, with all of his marbles. So it is doable. Most people in their 90s are a little more shop worn. Gene was one of those. I mean, he kind of looked like somebody who's living under a bridge. And it's like, can we leave this man alone?
Well, it's jarring to see icons in person as they age. And because when they appear even on television, they don't look so old. I mean, they're made up and they're used to being performers, and then when the light goes on, like I've run into people on elevators. Bob Newhart. I remember running into Bob Newhart once, and he was so frail and infirm, and I thought, oh gosh,
he made it to his 90s.
Yeah. So there's this, but hey, God bless him, and what a life and what a legacy. And
the other thing that lends to this is also if you see somebody, like the reason those pictures are a little jarring is we haven't seen Gene Hackman on a screen of any kind in almost 20 years. I think the last thing he did was there was a documentary. Welcome to Mooseport 2004 was the last actual movie that he was kind of in.
Welcome to Mooseport?
Yeah,
you're making that up.
No. It was
really?
It was Ray Romano, Gene Hackman.
Oh dear.
Sounds
unfortunate.
Yeah. Hey, not everything's going to be Hoosiers, So anyway, what would be your favorite? What would be your favorite? Give me a couple. What when you think Gene Hackman, close your eyes. What jumps out at you?
I guess Superman, but there wasn't anything he did that I didn't love.
I know,
the French Connection,
Hoosiers, Mississippi Burning with Willem Dafoe. Oh my gosh!
I know. Think about it. Is there any movie really? I don't know about the one you mentioned, but anything he appeared in, he just brought. And he was not your classic movie star. I mean,
not gruff.
Yep. But one of those actors. Look, we are blessed to have some of the most spectacular actors imaginable who become the character. I loathe Meryl Streep's politics, but she's somebody who I could read a phone book. Just do anything.
I love De Niro's. De Niro's got something new, and I'll probably. What is the difference between? Are you out? What is the difference between? Because what is there? It's a short list. You and I talk about compartmentalizing all the time. We know almost all these people loathe our politics, but you got to watch TV and watch movies and listen to music. Otherwise, you don't have to, but if you're going to. So if there's somebody that doesn't club me over the head with it, like Meryl Streep doesn't really, so I'm okay with her. De Niro does, but he's just so doggone good. I'm probably going to compartmentalize. Is there somebody who I'll search my brain pan. Is there anybody you just can't look at or just can't listen to?
De Niro. I mean, I have to say, I've loved his work over the years too, although a little bit one-dimensional, if you ask me. Sometimes I think there are icons that are a little overrated. Springsteen comes to mind. That's just me. But nonetheless, the vicious things De Niro has said about wanting to assault Trump and beat him up, and he's this and he's that. And I just get so tired of some of these people. But you're right. This is a conflict that I've had for years. I've got friends who say, look, you don't like these guys. Why do you line their pockets by going to their movies or buying their music or supporting them? And I'm like, well, I enjoy the arts. And I don't know why I have to be deprived of whatever talents they can. But I also respect their point of view.
Totally get it.
I totally get it. I've got a friend who will not spend one dime on a on a Barbara Streisand movie or a Robert De Niro film. Look, if you're gonna spit all over us, why should we do anything in kind? And I respect that and I appreciate that. But speaking of people evaluation, I saw a story I wanted to bounce off you. Have you heard of Mr. Beast?
Oh, well, why? Yes, but why? Help me.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Right.
And he's a 26-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. Do you know what his company is worth now?
What does he do? I mean, what
he's
does he do
a YouTuber.
Doing what?
What does he do? He does YouTube videos.
I know that, but doing what? That's like writing a book. About what?
That's the point. Whatever he wants it to be. Okay, that's the thing. There is no focus. He just riffs. He's just riffs. And he has taken off. He's got 367 million subscribers on YouTube. And Mark, I'm not kidding you. As I understand it, he pretty much does nothing. He just does he just looks into a camera. Yeah. He goes to the Grand Canyon and says, "Look at me, I'm Mr. Beast at the Grand Canyon." Oh, I don't even know what his talent is, what his skill set is. You know what his company's worth?
No.
$5 billion.
I know.
With
does that make us want to go bang our heads against a brick wall, or do we celebrate him and say, "Dude, success is success. Whatever you're doing, it's."
I say celebrate. I mean, I just find it so fascinating how you hit. I'm struggling to get 1,000 Facebook followers. Yeah. I mean, I got a big platform, and I'm look, I'm no slouch.
He donates a lot. He does a lot of philanthropy. He does a lot of kind things.
Well, he's got a lot of money to give to philanthropy. Okay. 26 years old too. That's what it aggravates the heck out of me. I mean, can you imagine being 26 and being a billionaire?
The Beatles were 22, and they were,
but they had talent.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry.
They could sing.
I lifted up the lob for the overhand smash on that one.
Oh, my gosh. Jimmy Donaldson is his real name. Yeah. He's raising he's right now raising money to fund a holding company that will put his value. The business is profitable. His business, now his YouTube channel generated, are you ready? $400 million in profit last year.
All righty. Okay.
No, that's ridiculous. It's
not ridiculous.
It just ticks me off.
It's the marketplace. All right. Speaking of people and a lot of money, there's something I've had my vest pocket here to offer up to this audience. I'm going to offer it up to you. It's just one of those silly little things. Does this bother you or does it not? And not bother you, but here's the thing.
Right.
So Super Bowl, Tom Brady's doing the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Something he was wearing attracted attention. Have you heard?
No, I've not.
He was wearing a watch. Nice watch.
Oh, I have heard about this. Yeah,
okay. $750,000 watch. Let us stipulate it's completely his money. We can't. Nothing drives me crazy. Elon or the money. Elon deserves every dime of all those billions. It's your money. This YouTube dude, God bless him. It's all his. There's no such thing. No such thing as too much money. No such thing. The $750,000 watch stuck in me for some reason. I couldn't do. So a little voice in my head said something. Do I listen to this voice or tell it to shut up? And that voice says, "You're Tom Brady. You got $750K. Get a $50,000 watch and donate the $700K to a local Boys and Girls Club." And that's me telling somebody what to do with their money, and I don't want to ever do that. And yet,
because here's what I often think about when I read about high-profile people who are aggravated about only making 37 million when they had the chance to make 41 million. And I think, how much do you need? And I sound like Bernie Sanders here.
I know, and I don't ever want to do that. And
I don't want to do that.
Watch. If somebody does it on their house or even on a $1 million car like Elon did, but a stupid watch.
Well, that's when you just
an affectation. That's a bit.
That's a shtick, and it's a product of blank you money. That's somebody who says, I can spend seven. Why do I spend $750,000 on a watch? Because I can. Because I can, and you know, again, you're right. I mean, but think of how much good $750,000 that would change Gallagher's Heroes, my foundation forever.
Exactly. And I'm giving him a $50,000 watch. $50,000. I mean, I got a couple of Rolexes. I like those things.
I've got one expensive watch. I have a Rolex that I bought in the Caribbean 23 years ago.
Yep.
And I remember I paid at the time, it was a lot of money, $7,000. And you know what? You could argue the same thing for you and me. You and I could say, you've got a couple. How many Rolexes do you have?
You got two, and they were both roughly 5, and I bought them 5 and 20-ish years ago.
And you need two? Why do you need two? How about one?
And how much?
And Gallagher,
you're right. How far are we going to winnow this now?
Yeah,
you are. But I also do a buttload charitably. Thank you, and I know you do too. So, and I bet Tom Brady does as well. But the $750K, man, I just kind of went, oh.
Hey, let me end on
not criticism, or anything, not at all. It is his money. I'm not coming at. No, I'll shut up about that. What do you got?
I'm with you. I want to end on a sober note. Here at the Gaylord, our final day before we head off to New York for a week and a half. Pray for me. So they're working on refurbishing my studio in Tampa. So I'm going to spend all next week as they put the finishing touches on that. We got some new monitors going up and some lighting and stuff. So that'll be kind of cool. And I had the privilege and the honor of interviewing Yael Eckstein yesterday from the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. We're going back to Israel in October. I'll be broadcasting from over there. The IFCJ helps families like the husband and father of this family that was slaughtered by Hamas.
Yep.
And because IFCJ has helped this man, because he's in the depths of despair now, he lost his wife, his little boys. Those monsters killed those 2 babies apparently with their bare hands. They didn't shoot them. They killed them with their hands. This is a little 9-month-old baby and a little 3 or 4-year-old boy. Now, Kafir, the little boy, had a favorite pet, a favorite toy, a pink stuffed elephant, a little pink elephant that was little baby Kafir's favorite. The family gave that little pink elephant to Yael, and she brought it with her yesterday, and she allowed me to hold it and hold it to my heart. And I just felt that little boy, and I just recognized that we've got to stare evil in the face.
Battle of civilizations.
We have to eradicate it.
Did you hear what CBS story said about them, about that death? They said they referred to them as having died while in custody.
Died while in
Hamas captivity. Just happened to die. I don't know how that happened. They were brutally murdered by monsters. That's
and the Palestinians in Gaza, which further complicates this, cheered their deaths.
I know.
They cheered and they
Mike,
had a parade.
the numbers. I mean, I love every hostage we're getting out. I like them to come back alive, ideally. Thank you. And Mork will come out ravaged but alive. Others will. But for every 3 we're getting, how many hundred terrorists do we give back?
I know.
Is that kind of okay? I mean, I guess.
And the bad news is with these little babies' murders and the mother, the wrong body was in the coffin and everything. A line has been crossed with Israel.
Yep.
And I believe that it's impossible. Can you defend a 2-state solution?
Oh, I've been spitting on the 2-state solution for 20 years. It's stupid. You can't have a 2-state solution when one of the states, God bless so many peace-loving Palestinian people because they exist, but their leadership has been soaked with the blood of terrorists like Yasser Arafat for generations. So I
would point out that there weren't many peace-loving Palestinians cheering the murder funeral of that family the other day.
And
the vast majority of Palestinians in Gaza support Hamas. And that's an inconvenient truth that we all have to deal with and we all have to live with. So anyway, I hate to end on a sad note like that, but back to business, and we'll be in New York tomorrow and then in New York all next week.
Really?
And,
so you're done at the Gaylord today. So Gaylord finishing up, wrapping up there, and then you're on a plane later today.
Out to DFW and out to LaGuardia. So,
and from Big Apple tomorrow morning, eh?
You bet. You bet. Happy Thursday, my friend. And thanks again for that wonderful lunch this week. We had a blast. I had
highlight for the week. Those folks are just walking on air. Me too. That is Mike Gallagher, and he's there for us from the Gaylord today.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.